ago, my life had collapsed around me. I'd worked myself into exhaustion, my father died suddenly, and my relationships with my work colleagues and loved ones were in turmoil. Little did I know at the time, out of my greatest despair was to come the greatest gift. I'd been given a glimpse of a great secret, the secret to life. The glimpse came in a 100-year-old book, given to me by my daughter Haley. I began tracing the secret back through history. I couldn't believe all the people who knew this. They were the greatest people in history: Plato, Shakespeare, Newton, Hugo, Beethoven, Lincoln, Emerson, Edison, Einstein. Incredulous, I asked, why doesn't everyone know this? A burning desire to share the secret with the world consumed me, and I began searching for people alive today who knew the secret. One by one they began to emerge. I became a magnet. As I began to search, one great living master after another was drawn to me. When I discovered one teacher, that one would link to the next, in a perfect chain. If I was on the wrong track, something else would catch my attention, and through the diversion the next great teacher would appear. If I, accidentally, pressed the wrong link on an internet search, I would be led to a vital piece of information. In a few short weeks I had traced the secret back through the centuries, and I had discovered the modern-day practitioners of the secret. The vision of taking the secret to the world in a film had become fixed in my mind, and over the following 2 months my film and television production team learned the secret. It was imperative that every team member knew it, because without its knowledge, what we were about to attempt would be impossible. We did not have a single teacher secured to film, but we knew the secret, and so with utter faith I flew from Australia to the United States where the majority of the teachers were based. 7 weeks later the secret team had filmed 55 of the greatest teachers across the United States, with over 120 hours of film. With every step, with every breath, we used the secret to create the secret. We literally magnetized everything and everyone to us. 8 months later the secret was released. As the film swept the world, stories of miracles began to flood in. People wrote about healing from chronic pain, depression, and disease, walking for the first time after an accident, even recovering from a deathbed. We have received thousands of accounts of the secret being used to bring about large sums of money and unexpected checks in the mail. People have used the secret to manifest their perfect homes, life partners, cars, jobs, and promotions, with many accounts of businesses being transformed within days of applying the secret. There have been heartwarming stories of stressed relationships involving children being restored to harmony. Some of the most magnificent stories we have received have come from children using the secret to attract what they want, including high grades and friends. The secret has inspired doctors to share the knowledge with their patients, universities and schools with their students, health clubs with their clients, churches of all denominations and spiritual centers with their congregations. There are secret parties being held in homes around the world, as people share the knowledge with loved ones and families. The secret has been used to attract all manner of things, from a specific feather to $10 million. All of this has taken place in the few months since the release of the film. My intention in creating the secret was, and still is, that it will bring joy to billions around the world. The secret team is experiencing the realization of that intention every day, as we receive thousands upon thousands of letters from people across the world, of all ages, all races, and all nationalities, expressing gratitude for the joy of the secret. There isn't a single thing that you cannot do with this knowledge. It doesn't matter who you are or where you are, the secret can give you whatever you want. 24 amazing teachers are featured in this book. Their words were filmed all over the United States, all at different times. Yet they speak as one voice. This book contains the secret teacher's words, and it also contains miraculous stories of the secret in action. I have shared all of the easy paths, tips, and shortcuts that I have learned so that you can live the life of your dreams. You will notice throughout the book that in certain places I have capitalized the word you. The reason I did this is because I want you, the reader, to feel and know that I created this book for you. I am speaking to you personally when I say you. My intention is for you to feel a personal connection with these pages, because the secret has been created for you. As you travel through its pages and you learn the secret, you will come to know how you can have, be, or do anything you want. You will come to know who you really are. You will come to know the true magnificence that awaits you. With the deepest gratitude I wish to thank every person who has come into my life and inspired, touched, and illuminated me through their presence. I would also like to acknowledge and express my gratitude to the following people for their magnificent support and contributions to my journey and to the creation of this book. For generously sharing their wisdom, love, and divinity, I pay homage to the featured co-authors of The Secret: John Assaraf, Michael Bernard Beckwith, Lee Brower, Jack Canfield, Dr. John DeMartini, Marie Diamond, Mike Dooley, Bob Doyle, Hale Dwoskin, Morris Goodman, Dr. John Gray, Dr. John Haglin, Bill Harris, Dr. Orban Johnson, Laurel Langmeyer, Lisa Nichols, Bob Proctor, James Ray, David Shermer, Marcy Shamoff, Dr. Joe Vitale, Dr. Dennis Waitley, Neil Donald Walsh, and Dr. Ferdalin Wolf. The magnificent human beings that make up the Secret production team: Paul Harrington, Glenn DeBell, Sky Byrne, and Nick George. Also to Drew Harriet, Daniel Kerr, Damian Corboy, and to all who journeyed with us in the creation of the film The Secret. Gozer Media, for the creation of the superb graphics and for impregnating them with the feeling of The Secret: James Armstrong, Seamus Hoare, and Andy Lewis. The CEO of The Secret, Bob Raynone, who was delivered to us from heaven. Michael Gardiner and the legal and advisory team across Australia and the United States. The Secret website team, Dan Hollings, John Heron, and all its powerful intentions who manage and run the Secret forum, along with the wonderful people on the forum. The great avatars and master teachers from the past, whose writings lit a burning fire of desire within me. I have walked in the shadows of their greatness, and I honor every one of them. Special thanks to Robert Collier and Robert Collier Publications, Wallace Waddles, Charles Honnell, Joseph Campbell and the Joseph Campbell Foundation, Prentice Mulford, Genevieve Barrand, and Charles Fillmore. To Richard Cohn and Cynthia Black of Atria Books, Beyond Words, and Judith Kerr of Simon & Schuster, for opening their hearts and embracing the secret. For their editing, Henry Covey and Julie Steigerwald. For their generosity in sharing their stories, Kathy Goodman, Susan Slowden, Colin Halm, Susan Maurice, Director of Belize Natural Energy, Jeannie McKay, and Joe Sugarman. For their inspirational teachings, Dr. Robert Anthony, Jerry and Esther Hicks and the Teachings of Abraham, David Cameron Gickendy, John Haracharan, Catherine Ponder, Gay and Katie Hendricks, Stephen Mr. Covey, Eckhart Tolle, and Debbie Ford. For their generous support, Chris and Janet Atwood, Marcia Martin, members of the Transformational Leaders Council, the Spiritual Cinema Circle CLE, the staff at Agape Spiritual Center, and the assistants and staff of all the teachers featured in The Secret. My precious friends for their love and support, Marcy Colton Crilly, Margaret Raynone, Athena Golianis and John Walker, Elaine Bate, Andrea Keir, and Michael and Kendra Abay. And my amazing family, Peter Byrne, my very special sisters, Jan Child for her invaluable help with this book, Pauline Vernon, Kay Izon, deceased, and Glenda Bell, who is always by my side and whose love and support knows no limits. My courageous and beautiful mother, Irene Izon, and in memory of my father, Ronald Izon, whose light and love continue to shine through our lives. And finally to my daughters, Haley and Sky Byrne. To Haley, who was responsible for the beginning of my life and its true journey, and to Sky, who followed my footsteps in the creation of this book, and who brilliantly edited and transformed my words. My daughters are the precious jewels of my life, and they illuminate every breath I take through their very existence. Bob Proctor. Philosopher, author, and personal coach. The Secret gives you anything you want, happiness, health, and wealth. Dr. Joe Vitale. METAPHYSICIAN, marketing specialist, and author. You can have, do, or be anything you want. John Assaraf. Entrepreneur and money-making expert. We can have whatever it is that we choose. One, don't care how big it is. 4. What kind of a house do you want to live in? Do you want to be a millionaire? What kind of a business do you want to have? Do you want more success? What do you really want? Dr. John D. Martini. Philosopher, chiropractor, healer, and personal transformation specialist. This is the great secret of life. Dr. Dennis Waitley. Psychologist and trainer in the field of mind potential. The leaders in the past who had the secret wanted to keep the power and not share the power. They kept people ignorant of the secret. People went to work, they did their job, they came home. They were on a treadmill with no power, because the secret was kept in the few. Throughout history there have been many who coveted the knowledge of the secret, and there have been many who found a way of spreading this knowledge to the world. Michael Bernard Beckwith. Visionary and founder of Agape International Spiritual Center. I've seen many miracles take place in people's lives. Financial miracles, miracles of physical healing, mental healing, healing of relationships. Jack Canfield. Author, teacher, life coach, and motivational speaker. All of this happened because of knowing how to apply the secret. Bob Proctor. You've probably been sitting there wondering, what is the secret? I'll tell you how I've come to understand it. We all work with one infinite power. We all guide ourselves by exactly the same laws. The natural laws of the universe are so precise that we don't even have any difficulty building spaceships, we can send people to the moon, and we can time the landing with the precision of a fraction of a second. Wherever you are, India, Australia, New Zealand, Stockholm, London, Toronto, Montreal, or New York, we're all working with one power. One law. It's attraction. The secret is the law of attraction. Everything that's coming into your life you are attracting into your life. And it's attracted to you by virtue of the images you're holding in your mind. It's what you're thinking. Whatever is going on in your mind you are attracting to you. Every thought of yours is a real thing, a force. The greatest teachers who have ever lived have told us that the law of attraction is the most powerful law in the universe. Poets such as William Shakespeare, Robert Browning, and William Blake delivered it in their poetry. Musicians such as Ludwig van Beethoven expressed it through their music. Artists such as Leonardo da Vinci depicted it in their paintings. Great thinkers including Socrates, Plato, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Pythagoras, Sir Francis Bacon, Sir Isaac Newton, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, and Victor Hugo shared it in their writings and teachings. Their names have been immortalized, and their legendary existence has survived centuries. Religions, such as Hinduism, Hermetic traditions, Buddhism, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, and civilizations, such as the ancient Babylonians and Egyptians, delivered it through their writings and stories. Recorded throughout the ages in all its forms, the law can be found in ancient writings through all the centuries. It was recorded in stone in 3000 BC. Even though some coveted this knowledge, and indeed they did, it has always been there for anyone to discover. The law began at the beginning of time. It has always been and will always be. It is the law that determines the complete order in the universe, every moment of your life, and every single thing you experience in your life. It doesn't matter who you are or where you are, the law of attraction is forming your entire life experience, and this all-powerful law is doing that through your thoughts. You are the one who calls the law of attraction into action, and you do it through your thoughts. In 1912, Charles Haanel described the law of attraction as the greatest and the most infallible law upon which the entire system of creation depends. Bob Proctor. Wise people have always known this. You can go right back to the ancient Babylonians. They've always known this. It's a small select group of people. The ancient Babylonians and their great prosperity have been well documented by scholars. They are also known for creating one of the 7 wonders of the world, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Through their understanding and application of the laws of the universe, they became one of the wealthiest races in history. Bob Proctor. Why do you think that 1% of the population earns around 96% of all the money that's being earned? Do you think that's an accident? It's designed that way. They understand something. They understand the secret, and now you are being introduced to the secret. People who have drawn wealth into their lives used the secret, whether consciously or unconsciously. They think thoughts of abundance and wealth, and they do not allow any contradictory thoughts to take root in their minds. Their predominant thoughts are of wealth. They only know wealth, and nothing else exists in their minds. Whether they are aware of it or not, their predominant thoughts of wealth are what brought wealth to them. It is the law of attraction in action. A perfect example to demonstrate the secret in the law of attraction in action is this: you may know of people who acquired massive wealth, lost it all, and within a short time acquired massive wealth again. What happened in these cases, whether they knew it or not, is that their dominant thoughts were on wealth. That is how they acquired it in the first instance. Then they allowed fearful thoughts of losing the wealth to enter their minds, until those fearful thoughts of loss became their dominant thoughts. They tipped the scales from thinking thoughts of wealth to thinking thoughts of loss, and so they lost it all. Once they had lost it, however, the fear of loss disappeared, and they tipped the scales back with dominant thoughts of wealth. And wealth returned. The law responds to your thoughts, no matter what they may be. John Assaraf. The simplest way for me to look at the law of attraction is if I think of myself as a magnet, and I know that a magnet will attract to it. You are the most powerful magnet in the universe. You contain a magnetic power within you that is more powerful than anything in this world, and this unfathomable magnetic power is emitted through your thoughts. Bob Doyle. Bob Doyle. Author and law of attraction specialist. Basically put, the law of attraction says that like attracts like. But we're really talking at a level of thought. The law of attraction says like attracts like, and so as you think a thought, you are also attracting like thoughts to you. Here are more examples you may have experienced of the law of attraction in your life. Have you ever started to think about something you were not happy about, and the more you thought about it, the worse it seemed? That's because as you think one sustained thought, the law of attraction immediately brings more like thoughts to you. In a matter of minutes, you have gotten so many like unhappy thoughts coming to you that the situation seems to be getting worse. The more you think about it, the more upset you get. You may have experienced attracting like thoughts when you listened to a song, and then found that you couldn't get that song out of your head. The song just kept playing over and over in your mind. When you listened to that song, even though you may not have realized it, you gave your full attention and focus of thought to it. As you did that, you were powerfully attracting more like thoughts of that song, and so the law of attraction moved into action and delivered more thoughts of that song, over and over again. John Assaraf. Our job as humans is to hold on to the thoughts of what we want, make it absolutely clear in our minds what we want, and from that we start to invoke one of the greatest laws in the universe, and that's the law of attraction. You become what you think about most, but you also attract what you think about most. Your life right now is a reflection of your past thoughts. That includes all the great things, and all the things you consider not so great. Since you attract to you what you think about most, it is easy to see what your dominant thoughts have been on every subject of your life, because that is what you have experienced. Until now. Now you are learning the secret, and with this knowledge, you can change everything. Bob Proctor. If you see it in your mind, you're going to hold it in your hand. If you can think about what you want in your mind, and make that your dominant thought, you will bring it into your life. Mike Dooley. Author and international speaker. And that principle can be summed up in 3 simple words. Thoughts become things. Through this most powerful law, your thoughts become the things in your life. Your thoughts become things. Say this over to yourself and let it seep into your consciousness and your awareness. Your thoughts become things. John Assaraf. What most people don't understand is that a thought has a frequency. We can measure a thought. And so if you're thinking that thought over and over and over again, if you're imagining in your mind having that brand new car, having the money that you need, building that company, finding your soulmate. If you're imagining what that looks like, you're emitting that frequency on a consistent basis. Dr. Joe Vitale. Thoughts are sending out that magnetic signal that is drawing the parallel back to you. The predominant thought or the mental attitude is the magnet, and the law is that like attracts like. Consequently, the mental attitude will invariably attract such conditions as correspond to its nature. Thoughts are magnetic, and thoughts have a frequency. As you think, those thoughts are sent out into the universe, and they magnetically attract all like things that are on the same frequency. Everything sent out returns to the source. And that source is you. Think of it this way, we understand that a television station's transmission tower broadcasts via a frequency, which is transformed into pictures on your television. Most of us don't really understand how it works, but we know that each channel has a frequency. And when we tune into that frequency, we see the pictures on our television. We choose the frequency by selecting the channel, and we then receive the pictures broadcast on that channel. If we want to see different pictures on our television, we change the channel and tune into a new frequency. You are a human transmission tower, and you are more powerful than any television tower created on Earth. You are the most powerful transmission tower in the universe. Your transmission CREOT is your life and it creates the world. The frequency you transmit reaches beyond cities, beyond countries, beyond the world. It reverberates throughout the entire universe. And you are transmitting that frequency with your thoughts. The pictures you receive from the transmission of your thoughts are not on a television screen in your living room, they are the pictures of your life. Your thoughts create the frequency, they attract like things on that frequency, and then they are broadcast back to you as your life pictures. If you want to change anything in your life, change the channel and change the frequency by changing your thoughts. The vibrations of mental forces are the finest and consequently the most powerful in existence. Bob Proctor. See yourself living in abundance and you will attract it. It works every time, with every person. As you think of yourself living in abundance, you are powerfully and consciously determining your life through the law of attraction. It's that easy. But then the most obvious question becomes, why isn't everybody living the life of their dreams? John Assaraf. Here's the problem. Most people are thinking about what they don't want, and they're wondering why it shows up over and over again. The only reason why people do not have what they want is because they are thinking more about what they don't want than what they do want. Listen to your thoughts, and listen to the words you are saying. The law is absolute and there are no mistakes. An epidemic worse than any plague that humankind has ever seen has been raging for centuries. It is the don't want epidemic. People keep this epidemic alive when they predominantly think, speak, act, and focus on what they don't want. But this is the generation that will change history, because we are receiving the knowledge that can free us of this epidemic. It begins with you, and you can become a pioneer of this new thought movement by simply thinking and speaking about what you want. Bob Doyle. The law of attraction doesn't care whether you perceive something to be good or bad, or whether you don't want it or whether you do want it. It's responding to your thoughts. So if you're looking at a mountain of debt, feeling terrible about it, that's the signal you're putting out into the universe. I feel really bad because of all this debt I've got. You're just affirming it to yourself. You feel it on every level of your being. That's what you're going to get more of. The law of attraction is a law of nature. It is impersonal and it does not see good things or bad things. It is receiving your thoughts and reflecting back to you those thoughts as your life experience. The law of attraction simply gives you whatever it is you are thinking about. Lisa Nichols. AUTHORAND Personal Empowerment Advocate. The law of attraction is really obedient. When you think of the things that you want, and you focus on them with all of your intention, then the law of attraction will give you exactly what you want, every time. When you focus on the things that you don't want, I don't want to be late, I don't want to be late, the law of attraction doesn't hear that you don't want it. It manifests the things that you're thinking of and so it's going to show up over and over and over again. The law of attraction is not biased to wants or don't wants. When you focus on something, no matter what it happens to be, you really are calling that into existence. When you focus your thoughts on something you want, and you hold that focus, you are in that moment summoning what you want with the mightiest power in the universe. The law of attraction doesn't compute don't, or not, or no, or any other words of negation. As you speak words of negation, this is what the law of attraction is receiving. I don't want to spill something on this outfit. I want to spill something on this outfit and I want to spill more things. I don't want a bad haircut. I want bad haircuts. I don't want to be delayed. I want delays. I don't want that person to be rude to me. I want that person and more people to be rude to me. I don't want the restaurant to give away our table. I want restaurants to give away our tables. I don't want these shoes to hurt. I want shoes to hurt. I can't handle all this work. I want more work than I can handle. I don't want to catch the flu. I want the flu and I want to catch more things. I don't want to argue. I want more arguing. Don't speak to me like that. I want you to speak to me like that and I want other people to speak to me like that. The law of attraction is giving you what you are thinking about. Period. Bob Proctor. The law of attraction is always working, whether you believe it or understand it or not. The law of attraction is the law of creation. Quantum physicists tell us that the entire universe emerged from thought. You create your life through your thoughts and the law of attraction, and every single person does the same. It doesn't just work if you know about it. It has always been working in your life and every other person's life throughout history. When you become aware of this great law, then you become aware of how incredibly powerful you are to be able to think your life into existence. Lisa Nichols. It's working as much as you're thinking. Anytime your thoughts are flowing, the law of attraction is working. When you're thinking about the past, the law of attraction's working. When you're thinking about the present or the future, the law of attraction is working. It's an ongoing process. You don't press pause, you don't press stop. It is forever in action, as your thoughts are. Whether we realize it or not, we are thinking most of the time. If you are speaking or listening to someone, you are thinking. If you are reading the newspaper or watching television, you are thinking. When you recall memories from your past, you are thinking. When you are considering something in your future, you are thinking. When you are driving, you are thinking. When you are getting ready in the morning, you are thinking. For many of us, the only time we are not thinking is when we are asleep. However, the forces of attraction are still operating on our last thoughts as we fall asleep. Make your last thoughts before going to sleep good thoughts. Michael Bernard Beckwith. Creation is always happening. Every time an individual has a thought, or a prolonged chronic way of thinking, they're in the creation process. Something is going to manifest out of those thoughts. What you are thinking now is creating your future life. You create your life with your thoughts. Because you are always thinking, you are always creating. What you think about the most or focus on the most is what will appear as your life. Like all the laws of nature, there is utter perfection in this law. You create your life. Whatever you sow, you reap. Your thoughts are seeds, and the harvest you reap will depend on the seeds you plant. If you are complaining, the law of attraction will powerfully bring into your life more situations for you to complain about. If you are listening to someone else complain and focusing on that, sympathizing with them, agreeing with them, in that moment, you are attracting more situations to yourself to complain about. The law is simply reflecting and giving back to you exactly what you are focusing on with your thoughts. With this powerful knowledge, you can completely change every circumstance and event in your entire life by changing the way you think. Bill Harris. Teacher and founder of Centerpoint Research Institute. I had a student named Robert, who was taking an online course I have, part of which entails email access. To me. Robert was gay. He outlined all of the grim realities of his life in his emails to me. In his job, his co-workers ganged up on him. It was constantly stressful because of how nasty they were with him. When he walked down the street, he was accosted by homophobic people who wanted to abuse him in some way. He wanted to become a stand-up comedian, and when he did a stand-up comedy job, everybody heckled him about being gay. His whole life was one of unhappiness and misery, and it all focused around being attacked because he was gay. I began to teach him that he was focusing on what he did not want. I directed him back to his email that he sent me and said, read it again. Look at all the things you do not want that you're telling me about. I can tell you're very passionate about this, and when you focus on something with a lot of passion, it makes it happen even faster. Then he started taking this thing about focusing on what you want to heart, and he began really trying it. What happened within the next 6 to 8 weeks was an absolute miracle. All the people in his office who had been harassing him either transferred to another department, quit working at the company, or started completely leaving him alone. He began to love his job. When he walked down the street, nobody harassed him anymore. They just weren't there. When he did his stand-up comedy routines, he started getting standing ovations, and nobody was heckling him. His whole life changed because he changed from focusing on what he did not want, what he was afraid of, what he wanted to avoid, to focusing on what he did want. Robert's life changed because he changed his thoughts. He emitted a different frequency out into the universe. The universe must deliver the pictures of the new frequency no matter how impossible the situation might seem. Robert's new thoughts became his new frequency, and the pictures of his entire life changed. Your life is in your hands. No matter where you are now, no matter what has happened in your life, you can begin to consciously choose your thoughts, and you can change your life. There is no such thing as a hopeless situation. Every single circumstance of your life can change. Michael Bernard Beckwith. You attract to you the predominant thoughts that you're holding in your awareness, whether those thoughts are conscious or unconscious. That's the rub. Whether you have been aware of your thoughts in the past or not, now you are becoming aware. Right now, with the knowledge of the secret, you are waking up from a deep sleep and becoming aware. Aware of the knowledge, aware of the law, aware of the power you have through your thoughts. Dr. John D. Martini. If you look very carefully when it comes to the secret, and the power of our mind and the power of our intention in our daily lives, it's all around us. All we have to do is open our eyes and look. Lisa Nichols. You can see the law of attraction everywhere. You draw everything to yourself. The people, the job, the circumstances, the health, the wealth, the debt, the joy, the car that you drive, the community that you're in. And you've drawn them all to you. Like a magnet. What you think about, you bring about. Your whole life is a manifestation of the thoughts that go on in your head. This is a universe of inclusion, not exclusion. Nothing is excluded from the law of attraction. Your life is a mirror of the dominant thoughts you think. All living things on this planet operate through the law of attraction. The difference with humans is that they have a mind that can discern. They can use their free will to choose their thoughts. They have the power to intentionally think and create their entire life with their mind. Dr. Fred Alan Wolf, quantum physicist, lecturer, and award-winning author. I'm not talking to you from the point of view of wishful thinking or imaginary craziness. I'm talking to you from a deeper, basic understanding. Quantum physics really begins to point to this discovery. It says that you can't have a universe without mind entering into it, and that the mind is actually shaping the very thing that is being perceived. If you think about the analogy of being the most powerful transmission tower in the universe, you will see the perfect correlation with Dr. Wolf's words. Your mind thinks thoughts and the pictures are broadcast back as your life experience. You not only create your life with your thoughts, but your thoughts add powerfully to the creation of the world. If you thought that you were insignificant and had no power in this world, think again. Your mind is actually shaping the world around you. The amazing work and discoveries of the quantum physicists over the last 80 years has brought us to a greater understanding of the unfathomable power of the human mind to create. Their work parallels the words of the world's great minds, including Carnegie, Emerson, Shakespeare, Bacon, Krishnamurti, and Buddha. Bob Proctor. If you don't understand the law, that doesn't mean you should reject it. You may not understand electricity, and yet you enjoy the benefits of it. I don't know how it works. But I do know this: you can cook a man's dinner with electricity, and you can also cook the man. Michael Bernard Beckwith. Oftentimes when people begin to understand the great secret, they become frightened of all the negative thoughts that they have. They need to be aware that it has been scientifically proven that an affirmative thought is hundreds of times more powerful than a negative thought. That eliminates a degree of worry right there. It really does take many negative thoughts and persistent negative thinking to bring something negative into your life. However, if you persist in thinking negative thoughts over a period of time, they will appear in your life. If you worry about having negative thoughts, you will attract more worrying about your negative thoughts, and multiply them at the same time. Decide right now that you are going to think only good thoughts. At the same time, proclaim to the universe that all your good thoughts are powerful, and that any negative thoughts are weak. Lisa Nichols. Thank God that there's a time delay, that all of your thoughts don't come true instantly. We'd be in trouble if they did. The element of time delay serves you. It allows you to reassess, to think about what you want, and to make a new choice. All of your power to create your life is available right now, because right now is when you are thinking. If you have had some thoughts that will not be beneficial when they manifest, then right now you can change your thinking. You can erase your previous thoughts by replacing them with good thoughts. Time serves you because you can think new thoughts and emit a new frequency, now. Dr. Joe Vitale. You want to become aware of your thoughts and choose your thoughts carefully, and you want to have fun with this, because you are the masterpiece of your own life. You are the Michelangelo of your own life. The David you are sculpting is you. One way to master your mind is to learn to quiet your mind. Without exception, every teacher in this book uses meditation as a daily practice. It wasn't until I discovered the secret that I realized how powerful meditation can be. Meditation quiets your mind, helps you control your thoughts, and revitalizes your body. The great news is that you don't have to set aside hours to meditate. Just 3 to 10 minutes a day to begin with can be incredibly powerful for gaining control over your thoughts. To become aware of your thoughts, you can also set the intention, I am the master of my thoughts. Say it often, meditate on it, and as you hold to that intention, by the law of attraction you must become that. You are now receiving the knowledge that will enable you to create the most magnificent version of you. The possibility of that version of you already exists on the frequency of the most magnificent version of you. Decide what you want to be, do, and have, think the thoughts of it, emit the frequency, and your vision will become your life. The great secret of life is the law of attraction. The law of attraction says like attracts like, so when you think a thought, you are also attracting like thoughts to you. Thoughts are magnetic, and thoughts have a frequency. As you think thoughts, they are sent out into the universe, and they magnetically attract all like things that are on the same frequency. Everything sent out returns to the source, you. You are like a human transmission tower, transmitting a frequency with your thoughts. If you want to change anything in your life, change the frequency by changing your thoughts. Your current thoughts are creating your future life. What you think about the most or focus on the most will appear as your life. Your thoughts become things. 25. Michael Bernard Beckwith. We live in a universe in which there are laws, just as there is a law of gravity. If you fail off a building, it doesn't matter if you're a good person or a bad person, you're going to hit the ground. The law of attraction is a law of nature. It is as impartial and impersonal as the law of gravity is. It is precise, and it is exact. Dr. Joe Vitale. Everything that surrounds you right now in your life, including the things you're complaining about, you've attracted. Now I know at first blush that's going to be something that you hate to hear. You're going to immediately say, I didn't attract the car accident. I didn't attract this particular client who gives me a hard time. I didn't particularly attract the debt. And I'm here to be 27. A little bit in your face and to say, yes, you did attract it. This is one of the hardest concepts to get, but once you've accepted it, it's life transforming. Often when people first hear this part of the secret, they recall events in history where masses of lives were lost, and they find it incomprehensible that so many people could have attracted themselves to the event. By the law of attraction, they had to be on the same frequency as the event. It doesn't necessarily mean they thought of that exact event, but the frequency of their thoughts matched the frequency of the event. If people believe they can be in the wrong place at the wrong time, and they have no control over outside circumstances, those thoughts of fear, separation, and powerlessness, if persistent, can attract them to being in the wrong place at the wrong time. You have a choice right now. Do you want to believe that it's just the luck of the draw and bad things can happen to you at any time? Do you want to believe that you can be in the wrong place at the wrong time? That you have no control over circumstances? Or do you want to believe and know that your life experience is in your hands and that only all good can come into your life because that is the way you think? You have a choice, and whatever you choose to think will become your life experience. Nothing can come into your experience unless you summon it through persistent thoughts. Bob Doyle. Most of us attract by default. We just think that we don't have any control over it. Our thoughts and feelings are on autopilot, and so everything is brought to us by default. No one would ever deliberately attract anything unwanted. Without the knowledge of the secret, it is easy to see how some unwanted things may have occurred in your life or other people's lives. It simply came from a lack of awareness of the great creative power of our thoughts. Dr. Joe Blattale. Now if this is your first time to hear this, it may feel like, oh, I have to monitor my thoughts. This is going to be a lot of work. It will seem like that at first, but that's where the fun begins. The fun is that there are many shortcuts to the secret, and you get to choose the shortcuts that work best for you. Read on, and you will see how. Marcy Shimoff. Author, international speaker, and transformational leader. It's impossible to monitor every thought we have. Researchers tell us that we have about 60,000 thoughts a day. Can you imagine how exhausted you'd feel trying to control all 60,000 of those thoughts? Fortunately, there's an easier way, and it's our feelings. Our feelings let us know what we are thinking. The importance of feelings cannot be overstated. Your feelings are your greatest tool to help you create your life. Your thoughts are the primary cause of everything. Everything else you see and experience in this world is effect, and that includes your feelings. The cause is always your thoughts. Bob Doyle. The emotions are an incredible gift that we have to let us know what we are thinking. Your feelings tell you very quickly what you are thinking. Think about when your feelings suddenly took a dive, maybe when you heard some bad news. That feeling in your stomach or solar plexus was instant. So your feelings are an immediate signal for you to know what you are thinking. You want to become aware of how you are feeling, and get in tune with how you are feeling, because it is the fastest way for you to know what you are thinking. Lisa Nichols. You have two sets of feelings, good feelings and bad feelings. And you know the difference between the two because one makes you feel good, and the other makes you feel bad. It's the depression, it's the anger, it's the resentment, it's the guilt. It's those feelings that don't make you feel empowered. Those are the bad feelings. No one can tell you whether you are feeling good or bad, because you are the only one who knows how you are feeling at any time. If you are not sure how you are feeling, just ask yourself, how am I feeling? You can stop and ask this question often during the day, and as you do, you will become more aware of how you are feeling. The most important thing for you to know is that it is impossible to feel bad and at the same time be having good thoughts. That would defy the law, because your thoughts cause your feelings. If you are feeling bad, it is because you are thinking thoughts that are making you feel bad. Your thoughts determine your frequency, and your feelings tell you immediately what frequency you are on. When you are feeling bad, you are on the frequency of drawing more bad things. The law of attraction must respond by broadcasting back to you more pictures of bad things and things that will make you feel bad. As you feel bad, and don't make any effort to change your thoughts and feel better, you are in effect saying, bring me more circumstances that will make me feel bad. Bring it on. Lisa Nichols. The flip side to that is that you have good emotions and good feelings. You know when they come because they make you feel good. Excitement, joy, gratitude, love. Imagine if we could feel that way every day. When you celebrate the good feelings, you'll draw to you more good feelings and things that make you feel good. Bob Doyle. It's really so simple. What am I attracting right now? Well, how do you feel? I feel good. Well, good, keep doing that. It is impossible to feel good and at the same time be having negative thoughts. If you are feeling good, it is because you are thinking good thoughts. You see, you can have whatever you want in your life, no limits. But there's one catch, you have to feel good. And when you think about it, isn't that all you ever want? The law is indeed perfect. Marcleshimoff. If you're feeling good, then you're creating a future that's on track with your desires. If you're feeling bad, you're creating a future that's off track with your desires. As you go about your day, the law of attraction is working in every second. Everything we think and feel is creating our future. If you're worried or in fear, then you're bringing more of that into your life throughout the day. When you are feeling good, you must be thinking good thoughts. So you are on track and you are emitting a powerful frequency that is attracting back to you more good things that will make you feel good. Seize those moments when you are feeling good, and milk them. Be aware that as you are feeling good, you are powerfully attracting more good things to you. Let's go one step further. What if your feelings are actually communication from the universe to let you know what you're thinking? JACKCANFIELD. Our feelings are a feedback mechanism to us about whether we're on track or not, whether we're on course or off course. Remember that your thoughts are the primary cause of everything. So when you think a sustained thought, it is immediately sent out into the universe. That thought magnetically attaches itself to the like frequency and then within seconds sends the reading of that frequency back to you through your feelings. Put another way, your feelings are communication back to you from the universe, telling you what frequency you are currently on. Your feelings are your frequency feedback mechanism. When you are feeling good feelings, it is communication back from the universe saying, you are thinking good thoughts. Likewise, when you are feeling bad, you are receiving communication back from the universe saying, you are thinking bad thoughts. So when you are feeling bad, it is communication from the universe, and in effect it is saying, warning. Change thinking now. Negative frequency recording. Change frequency. Counting down to manifestation. Warning. The next time you are feeling bad or feeling any negative emotion, listen to the signal you are receiving from the universe. In that moment you are blocking your own good from coming to you because you are on a negative frequency. Change your thoughts and think about something good, and when the good feelings start to come, you will know it was because you shifted yourself onto a new frequency, and the universe has confirmed it with better feelings. Bob Doyle. You getting exactly what you're feeling about, not so much what you're thinking about. That's why people tend to spiral if they stub their toe getting out of bed. Their whole day goes like that. They have no clue that a simple shifting of their emotions can change their entire day and life. If you start out having a good day and you're in that particular happy feeling, as long as you don't allow something to change your mood, you're going to continue to attract, by the law of attraction, more situations and people that sustain that happy feeling. We all have experienced those days or times when one thing after another goes wrong. The chain reaction began with one thought, whether you were aware of it or not. The one bad thought attracted more bad thoughts, the frequency locked in, and eventually something went wrong. Then as you reacted to that one thing going wrong, you attracted more things going wrong. Reactions just attract more of the same, and the chain reaction must keep occurring until you move yourself off that frequency by intentionally changing your thoughts. You can shift your thoughts to what you want, receive, confirm it on through your feelings that you changed your frequency, and the law of attraction will grab hold of that new frequency and send it back to you as the new pictures of your life. Now here is where you can harness your feelings and use them to turbocharge what you want in your life. You can purposefully use your feelings to transmit an even more powerful frequency by adding feeling to what you are wanting. Michael Bernard Beckwith. You can begin right now to feel healthy. You can begin to feel prosperous. You can begin to feel the love that's surrounding you, even if it's not there. And what will happen is the universe will correspond to the nature of your song. The universe will correspond to the nature of that inner feeling and manifest, because that's the way you feel. So what are you feeling now? Take a few moments to think about how you feel. If you are not feeling as good as you'd like to, focus on feeling your feelings inside and purposefully lift them. As you focus intensely on your feelings, with the intention to lift yourself, you can powerfully elevate them. One way is to close your eyes. Shutting out distractions, focus on your feelings inside, and smile for 1 minute. Lisa Nichols. Your thoughts and your feelings create your life. It will always be that way. Guaranteed. Just like the law of gravity, the law of attraction never slips up. You don't see pigs flying because the law of gravity made a mistake and forgot to apply gravity to pigs that day. Likewise, there are no exclusions to the law of attraction. If something came to you, you drew it, with prolonged thought. The law of attraction is precise. Michael Bernard Beckwith. It's hard to swallow, but when we can begin to open ourselves up to that, the ramifications are awesome. It means that whatever thought has done in your life, it can be undone through a shift in your awareness. You have the power to change anything, because you are the one who chooses your thoughts and you are the one who feels your feelings. You create your own universe as you go along. Dr. Joe Vitale. It's really important that you feel good, because this feeling good is what goes out as a signal into the universe and starts to attract more of itself to you. So the more you can feel good, the more you will attract the things that help you feel good, and are able to keep bringing you up higher and higher. Bob Proctor. When you're feeling down, did you know that you can change it in an instant? Put on a beautiful piece of music, or start singing, that'll change your emotion. Or think of something beautiful. Think of a baby or somebody that you truly love, and dwell on it. Really keep that thought in your mind. Block everything out but that thought. I guarantee you'll start to feel good. Make a list of some secret shifters to have up your sleeve. By secret shifters, I mean things that can change your feelings in a snap. It might be beautiful memories, future events, funny moments, nature, a person you love, your favorite music. Then if you find yourself angry or frustrated or not feeling good, turn to your secret shifters list and focus on one of them. Different things will shift you at different times, so if one doesn't work, go to another. It only takes a minute or two of changing focus to shift yourself and shift your frequency. James Ray. Philosopher, lecturer, author, and creator of prosperity and human potential programs. The principle of feeling good applies to your family pets, for instance. Animals are wonderful because they put you in a great emotional state. When you feel love for your pet, that great state of love will bring goodness into your life. And what a gift that is. It is the combination of thought and love which forms the irresistible force of the law of attraction. There is no greater power in the universe than the power of love. The feeling of love is the highest frequency you can emit. If you could wrap every thought in love, if you could love everything and everyone, your life would be transformed. In fact, some of the great thinkers of the past referred to the law of attraction as the law of love. And if you think about it, you will understand why. If you think unkind thoughts about someone else, you will experience those unkind thoughts manifested. You cannot harm another with your thoughts, you only harm you. If you think thoughts of love, guess who receives the benefits? You. So if your predominant state is love, the law of attraction or the law of love responds with the mightiest force because you are on the highest frequency possible. The greater the love you feel and emit, the greater the power you are harnessing. The principle which gives the thought the dynamic power to correlate with its object, and therefore to master every adverse human experience, is the law of attraction, which is another name for love. This is an eternal and fundamental principle inherent in all things, in every system of philosophy, in every religion and in every science. There is no getting away from the law of love. It is feeling that imparts vitality to thought. Feeling is desire and desire is love. Thought impregnated with love becomes invincible. Marcy Shimoff. Once you begin to understand and truly master your thoughts and feelings, that's when you see how you create your own reality. That's where your freedom is, that's where all your power is. Marcy Shimoff shared a wonderful quote from the great Albert Einstein: "The most important question any human being can ask themselves is this a friendly universe?" Knowing the law of attraction, the only answer to give is, yes, the universe is friendly. Why? Because when you answer in this way, by the law of attraction, you must experience that. Albert Einstein posed this powerful question because he knew the secret. He knew by asking the question it would force us to think and make a choice. He gave us a great opportunity, just by posing the question. To take Einstein's intention even further, you can affirm and proclaim, "This is a magnificent universe. The universe is bringing all good things to me. The universe is conspiring for me in all things. The universe is supporting me in everything I do. The universe meets all my needs immediately. Know that this is a friendly universe." J. Canfield. Since I learned the secret and started applying it to my life has truly become magical. I think the kind of life that everybody dreams of is one I live on a day-to-day basis. I live in a $4.5 million mansion. I have a wife to die for. I get to vacation in all the fabulous spots of the world. I've climbed mountains. I've explored. I've been on safaris. And all of this happened, and continues to happen, because of knowing how to apply the secret. Bob Proctor. Life can be absolutely phenomenal, and it should be, and it will be, when you start using the secret. This is your life, and it's been waiting for you to discover it. Up until now you may have been thinking that life is hard and a struggle, and so by the law of attraction you will have experienced life as hard and a struggle. Begin right now to shout to the universe, life is so easy. Life is so good. All good things come to me. There is a truth deep down inside of you that has been waiting for you to discover it, and that truth is this: you deserve all good things life has to offer. You know that inherently, because you feel awful when you are experiencing the lack of good things. All good things are your birthright. You are the creator of you, and the law of attraction is your magnificent tool to create whatever you want in your life. Welcome to the magic of life, and the magnificence of you. The law of attraction is a law of nature. It is as impartial as the law of gravity. Nothing can come into your experience unless you summon it through persistent thoughts. To know what you are thinking, ask yourself how you are feeling. Emotions are valuable tools that instantly tell us what we are thinking. It is impossible to feel bad and at the same time have good thoughts. Your thoughts determine your frequency, and your feelings tell you immediately what frequency you are on. When you feel bad, you are on the frequency of drawing more bad things. When you feel good, you are powerfully attracting more good things to you. Secret shifters, such as pleasant memories, nature, or your favorite music, can change your feelings and shift your frequency in an instant. The feeling of love is the highest frequency you can emit. The greater the love you feel and emit, the greater the power you are harnessing. 43. You are a creator, and there is an easy process to create using the law of attraction. The greatest teachers and avatars have shared the creative process through their wondrous work, in a myriad of forms. Some great teachers created stories to demonstrate how the universe works. The wisdom contained in their stories has been handed down through the centuries and has become legendary. Many people living today do not realize that the essence of these stories is the very truth of life. James Ray. If you think about Aladdin and his lamp, Aladdin picks up the lamp, dusts it off, and out pops the genie. The genie always says one thing: "Your wish is my command." The story now goes that there are 3 wishes, but if you trace the story back to its origins, there's absolutely no limit whatsoever to the wishes. Think about that one. Now, let's take this metaphor and apply it to your life. Remember, Aladdin is the one who always asks for what he wants. Then you've got the universe at large, which is the genie. Traditions have called it so many things, your holy guardian angel, your higher self. We can put any label on it, and you choose the one that works best for you, but every tradition has told us there's something bigger than us. And the genie always says one thing. Your wish is my command. This wonderful story demonstrates how your whole life and everything in it has been created by you. The genie has simply answered your every command. The genie is the law of attraction, and it is always present and always listening to everything you think, speak, and act. The genie assumes that everything you think about, you want. That everything you speak about, you want. That everything you act upon is what you want. You are the master of the universe, and the genie is there to serve you. The genie never questions your commands. You think it, and the genie immediately begins to leverage the universe, through people, circumstances, and events, to fulfill your wish. The creative process. The creative process used in The Secret, which was taken from the New Testament in the Bible, is an easy guideline for you to create what you want in 3 simple steps. Step 1, ask. Lisa Nichols. The first step is to ask. Make a command to the universe. Let the universe know what you want. The universe responds to your thoughts. Bob Proctor. What do you really want? Sit down and write it out on a piece of paper. Write it in the present tense. You might begin by writing, I am so happy and grateful now that. And then explain how you want your life to be, in every area. You get to choose what you want, but you must get clear about what you want. This is your work. If you are not clear, then the law of attraction cannot bring you what you want. You will be sending out a mixed frequency and you can only attract mixed results. For the first time in your life perhaps, work out what it is you really want. Now that you know you can have, be, or do anything, and there are no limits, what do you want? Asking is the first step in the creative process, so make it a habit to ask. If you have to make a choice and you don't know which way to go, ask. You should never be stumped on anything in your life. Just ask. Dr. Joe Blattale. This is really fun. It's like having the universe as your catalog. You flip through it and say, I'd like to have this experience and I'd like to have that product and I'd like to have a person like that. It is you placing your order with the universe. It's really that easy. You do not have to ask over and over again. Just ask once. It is exactly like placing an order from a catalog. You only ever order something once. You don't place an order and then doubt the order has been received and so place the order again, and then again, and then again. You order once. It is the same with the creative process. Step 1 is simply your step to get clear about what you want. As you get clear in your mind, you have asked. Step 2, believe. Lisa Nichols. Step 2 is believe. Believe that it's already yours. Have what I love to call unwavering faith. Believing in the unseen. You must believe that you have received. You must know that what you want is yours the moment you ask. You must have complete and utter faith. If you had placed an order from a catalog you would relax, know you are going to receive what you ordered, and get on with your life. See the things that you want as already yours. Know that they will come to you at need. Then let them come. Don't fret and worry about them. Don't think about your lack of them. Think of them as yours, as belonging to you, as already in your possession. In the moment you ask, and believe and know you already have it in the unseen, the entire universe shifts to bring it into the seen. You must act, speak, and think, as though you are receiving it now. Why? The universe is a mirror, and the law of attraction is mirroring back to you your dominant thoughts. So doesn't it make sense that you have to see yourself as receiving it? If your thoughts contain noticing you do not have it yet, you will continue to attract not having it yet. You must believe you have it already. You must believe you have received it. You have to emit the feeling frequency of having received it, to bring those pictures back as your life. When you do that, the law of attraction will powerfully move all circumstances, people, and events, for you to receive. When you book a vacation, order a brand new car, or buy a house, you know those things are yours. You wouldn't go and book another vacation for the same time, or purchase another car or house. If you won a lottery or received a large inheritance, even before you physically had the money, you know it is yours. That is the feeling of believing it is yours. That is the feeling of believing you have it already. That is the feeling of believing you have received. Claim the things you want by feeling and believing they are yours. When you do that, the law of attraction will powerfully move all circumstances, people, and events for you to receive. How do you get yourself to a point of believing? Start make-believing. Be like a child, and make believe. Act as if you have it already. As you make believe, you will begin to believe you have received. The genie is responding to your predominant thoughts all the time, not just in the moment you ask. That's why after you've asked, you must continue to believe and know. Have faith. Your belief that you have it, that undying faith, is your greatest power. When you believe you are receiving, get ready, and watch the magic begin. You can have what you want, if you know how to form the mold for it in your own thoughts. There is no dream that may not come true, if you but learn to use the creative force working through you. The methods that work for one will work for all. The key to power lies in using what you have. Freely, fully. And thus opening wide your channels for more creative force to flow through you. Dr. Joe Blattale. The universe will start to rearrange itself to make it happen for you. JACKCANFIELD Most of us have never allowed ourselves to want what we truly want because Toe can't see how it's going to manifest. Bob Proctor. If you do just a little research, it is going to become evident to you that anyone that ever accomplished anything did not know how they were going to do it. They only knew they were going to do it. Dr. Jove Littale. You don't need to know how it's going to come about. You don't need to know how the universe will rearrange itself. How it will happen, how the universe will bring it to you, is not your concern or job. Allow the universe to do it for you. When you are trying to work out how it will happen, you are emitting a frequency that contains a lack of faith, that you don't believe you have it already. You think you have to do it and you do not believe the universe will do it for you. The how is not your part in the creative process. Bob Proctor. You don't know how, it will be shown to you. You will attract the way. Lisa Nichols. Most of the time, when we don't see the things that we've requested, we get frustrated. We get disappointed. And we begin to become doubtful. The doubt brings about a feeling of disappointment. Take that doubt and shift it. Recognize that feeling and replace it with a feeling of unwavering faith. I know that it's on its way. Lisa Nichols. Step 3, and the final step in the process, is to receive. Begin to feel wonderful about it. Feel the way you will feel once it arrives. Feel it now. Marcy Shimoff. And in this process it's important to feel good, to be happy. Because when you're feeling good you're putting yourself in the frequency of what you want. Michael Bernard Beckwith. This is a feeling universe. If you just intellectually believe something, but you have no corresponding feeling underneath that, you don't necessarily have enough power to manifest what you want in your life. You have to feel it. Ask once, believe you have received, and all you have to do to receive is feel good. When you are feeling good, you are on the frequency of receiving. You are on the frequency of all good things coming to you, and you will receive what you have asked for. You wouldn't ask for anything unless it was going to make you feel good in the receiving of it, would you? So get yourself on the feel-good frequency, and you will receive. A fast way to get yourself on that frequency is to say, I am receiving now. I am receiving all the good in my life, now, I am receiving, fill in your desire, now. And feel it. Feel it as though you have received. A dear friend of mine, Marcy, is one of the greatest manifestors I have seen, and she feels everything. She feels what it would feel like to have what she is asking for. She feels everything into existence. She doesn't get caught up in how, when, or where, she just feels it and it then manifests. So feel good now. Bob Proctor. When you turn that fantasy into a fact, you are in the position to build bigger and bigger fantasies. And that, my friend, is the creative process. Whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing, ye shall receive. What things soever ye desire, when ye pray, believe that ye receive them, and ye shall have them. Bob Doyle. The law of attraction, the study and practice of the law of attraction, is just figuring out what will help you generate the feelings of having it now. Go test drive that car. Go shop for that home. Get in the house. Do whatever you have to do to generate the feelings of having it now, and remember them. Whatever you can do to achieve that will help you to literally attract it. When you feel as though you have it now, and the feeling is so real that it is like you have it already, you are believing that you have received, and you will receive. Bob Doyle. It could be you wake up and it's just there. It's manifested. Or, you might get some inspired idea of some action to take. You certainly shouldn't be saying, well, I could do it this way, but man, I would hate that. You're not on the right track if that's the case. Action will sometimes be required, but if you're really doing it in line with what the universe is trying to bring to you, it's going to feel joyous. You're going to feel so alive. Time will just stop. You could do it all day. Action is a word that can imply work to some people, but inspired action will not feel like work at all. The difference between inspired action and action is this: inspired action is when you are acting to receive. If you are in action to try and make it happen, you have slipped backward. Inspired action is effortless, and it feels wonderful because you are on the frequency of receiving. Imagine life as a fast-moving river. When you are acting to make something happen, it will feel as if you are going against the current of the river. It will feel hard and like a struggle. When you are acting to receive from the universe, you will feel as if you are flowing with the current of the river. It will feel effortless. That is the feeling of inspired action, and of being in the flow of the universe in life. Sometimes you will not even be aware you used action until after you've received, because the acting felt so good. You will then look back and see the wonder and matrix of how the universe carried you to what you wanted, and also brought what you wanted to you. Dr. Jove Littale. The universe likes speed. Don't delay. Don't second guess. Don't doubt. When the opportunity is there, when the impulse is there, when the intuitive nudge from within is there, act. That's your job. And that's all you have to do. Trust your instincts. It's the universe inspiring you. It's the universe communicating with you on the receiving frequency. If you have an intuitive or instinctive feeling, follow it, and you will find that the universe is magnetically moving you to receive what you asked for. Bob Proctor. You will attract everything that you require. If it's money you need, you will attract it. If it's people you need, you'll attract it. If it's a certain book you need, you'll attract it. You've got to pay attention to what you're attracted to, because as you hold images of what you want, you're going to be attracted to things and they're going to be attracted to you. But it literally moves into physical reality with and through you. And it does that by law. Remember that you are a magnet, attracting everything to you. When you have gotten clear in your mind about what you want, you have become a magnet to draw those things to you, and those things you want are magnetized to you in return. The more you practice and begin to see the law of attraction bringing things to you, the greater the magnet you will become, because you will add the power of faith, belief, and knowing. Michael Bernard Beckwith. You can start with nothing, and out of nothing and out of no way, a way will be made. All you require is you, and your ability to think things into being. Everything that has been invented and created throughout the history of humankind began with one thought. From that one thought a way was made, and it manifested from the invisible into the visible. Jack Canfield. Think of a car driving through the night. The headlights only go 100 to 200 feet forward, and you can make it all the way from California to New York driving through the dark, because all you have to see is the next 200 feet. And that's how life tends to unfold before us. If we just trust that the next 200 feet will unfold after that, and the next 200 feet will unfold after that, your life will keep unfolding. And it will eventually get you to the destination of whatever it is you truly want, because you want it. Trust the universe. Trust and believe and have faith. I truly had no idea how I was going to bring the knowledge of the secret onto the movie screen. I just held to the outcome of the vision. I saw the outcome clearly in my mind. I felt it with all my might, and everything that we needed to create the secret came to us. Take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. Let's look at using the creative process for those who feel they are overweight and who want to lose weight. The first thing to know is that if you focus on losing weight, you will attract back having to lose more weight, so get having to lose weight out of your mind. It's the very reason why diets don't work. Because you are focused on losing weight, you must attract back continually having to lose weight. The second thing to know is that the condition of being overweight was created through your thought to it. To put it in the most basic terms, if someone is overweight, it came from thinking fat thoughts, whether that person was aware of it or not. A person cannot think thin thoughts and be fat. It completely defies the law of attraction. Whether people have been told they have a slow thyroid, a slow metabolism, or their body size is hereditary, these are all disguises for thinking fat thoughts. If you accept any of those conditions as applicable to you, and you believe it, it must become your experience, and you will continue to attract being overweight. After I had my 2 daughters, I was overweight, and I know it came from listening to and reading the messages that it is hard to lose weight after having a baby, and even harder after the second baby. I summoned exactly that to me with those fat thoughts. And it became my experience. I really beefed up, and the more I noticed how I had beefed up, the more beefing up I attracted. With a small frame, I became a hefty 143 pounds, all because I was thinking fat thoughts. The most common thought that people hold, and I held it too, is that food was responsible for my weight gain. That is a belief that does not serve you, and in my mind now it is complete balderdash. Food is not responsible for putting on weight. It is your thought that food is responsible for putting on weight that actually has food put on weight. Remember, thoughts are primary cause of everything, and the rest is effects from those thoughts. Think perfect thoughts and the result must be perfect weight. Let go of all those limiting thoughts. Food cannot cause you to put on weight unless you think it can. The definition of the perfect weight is the weight that feels good for you. No one else's opinion counts. It is the weight that feels good for you. You most likely know of someone who is thin and eats like a horse, and they proudly declare, I can eat whatever I want and I am always the perfect weight. And so the genie of the universe says, your wish is my command. To attract your perfect weight and body using the creative process, follow these steps. Get clear on the weight you want to be. Have a picture in your mind of what you will look like when you have become that perfect weight. Get pictures of yourself at your perfect weight, if you have them, and look at them often. If not, get pictures of the body you would like to have and look at those often. You must believe you will receive and that the perfect weight is yours already. You must imagine, pretend, act as if, make believe, that the perfect weight is yours. You must see yourself as receiving that perfect weight. Write out your perfect weight and place it over the readout of your scale, or don't weigh yourself at all. Do not contradict what you have asked for with your thoughts, words, and actions. Don't buy clothes at your current weight. Have faith and focus on the clothes you are going to buy. Attracting the perfect weight is the same as placing an order with the catalog of the universe. You look through the catalog, choose the perfect weight, place your order, and then it is delivered to you. Make it your intention to look for, admire, and inwardly praise people with your idea of perfect weight bodies. Seek them out and, as you admire them and feel the feelings of that, you are summoning it to you. If you see people who are overweight, do not observe them, but immediately switch your mind to the picture of you in your perfect body and feel it. You must feel good. You must feel good about you. This is important, because you cannot attract your perfect weight if you feel bad about your body now. If you feel bad about your body, that is a powerful feeling, and you will continue to attract feeling bad about your body. You will never change your body if you are critical of it and find fault with it, and in fact you will attract more weight to you. Praise and bless every square inch of your body. Think about all the perfect things about you. As you think perfect thoughts, as you feel good about you, you are on the frequency of your perfect weight, and you are summoning perfection. Wallace Wattles shares a wonderful tip about eating in one of his books. He recommends that when you eat, make sure you are entirely focused on the experience of chewing the food. Keep your mind present and experience the sensation of eating food, and do not allow your mind to drift to other things. Be present in your body and enjoy all the sensations of chewing the food in your mouth and swallowing it. Try it the next time you are eating. When you are completely present as you eat, the flavor of the food is so intense and magnificent. When you let your mind drift, the flavor virtually disappears. I am convinced that if we can eat our food in the present, entirely focused on the pleasurable experience of eating, the food is assimilated into our bodies perfectly, and the result in our bodies must be perfection. The end of the story about my own weight is that I now maintain my perfect weight of 116 pounds and I can eat whatever I want. So, focus on your perfect weight. Dr. Joe Blattale. Another thing people wonder about is, how long will it take to manifest the car, the relationship, the money? I don't have any rulebook that says it's going to take 30 minutes or 3 days or 30 days. It's more a matter of you being in alignment with the universe itself. Time is just an illusion. Einstein told us that. If this is the first time you have heard it, you may find it a hard concept to get your head around, because you see everything happening, one thing after the other. What quantum physicists and Einstein tell us is that everything is happening simultaneously. If you can understand that there is no time, and accept that concept, then you will see that whatever you want in the future already exists. If everything is happening at the one time, then the parallel version of you with what you want already exists. It takes no time for the universe to manifest what you want. Any time delay you experience is due to your delay in getting to the place of believing, knowing, and feeling that you already have it. It is you getting yourself on the frequency of what you want. When you are on that frequency, then what you want will appear. Bob Doyle. Size is nothing to the universe. It is no more difficult to attract, on a scientific level, something that we consider huge to something that we consider infinitesimally small. The universe does everything with zero effort. The grass doesn't strain to grow. It's effortless. It's just this great design. It's all about what's going on in your mind. It's about what we put in place, saying, this is big, it's going to take some time. And, this is small. I'll give it an hour. Those are our rules that we define. There are no rules according to the universe. You provide the feelings of having it now, it will respond, whatever it is. There is no time for the universe and there is no size for the universe. It is as easy to manifest $1 as it is to manifest $1 million. It is the same process, and the only reason why one may come faster and the other may take longer is because you thought that $1 million was a lot of money and that $1 was not very much. Bob Doyle. Some people have an easier time with little things, and so we sometimes say start with something small, like a cup of coffee. Make it your intention to attract a cup of coffee today. Bob Proctor. Hold an image of talking to an old friend that you haven't seen for a long time. Somehow or another somebody's going to start talking to you about that person. That person's going to phone you or you'll get a letter from her. Starting with something small is an easy way to experience the law of attraction with your own eyes. Let me share a story with you of a young man who did exactly that. He watched The Secret and he decided to start with something small. He created a picture of a feather in his mind, and he made sure this feather was unique. He created particular markings on the feather so he would know without any doubt that if he saw this feather, it had come to him through his intentional use of the law of attraction. 2 days later, he was about to walk into a high-rise building on a street in New York City. He said he did not know why, but he just happened to look down. There at his feet, at the entrance to a high-rise building in New York City, was the feather. Not just any feather, but the exact feather he had imagined. It was identical to the picture he had created in his mind, with all of its unique markings. In that moment he knew, without a shred of doubt, that this was the law of attraction working in all its glory. He realized his amazing ability and power to attract something to himself through the power of his mind. With total faith, he has now moved on to creating much bigger things. David Shermer. Investment trainer, teacher, and wealth specialist. People are amazed at how I line up parking spaces. I've done this right from when I first understood the secret. I would visualize a parking space exactly where I wanted it, and 95% of the time it would be there for me and I would just pull straight in. 5% of the time I'd have to wait just a minute or two, and the person would pull out and I'd pull in. I do that all the time. Now you might understand why a person who says, I always get parking spaces, gets them. Or why a person who says, I am really lucky, I win things all the time, wins one thing after another, all the time. These people expect it. Begin to expect great things, and as you do, you will create your life in advance. You can use the law of attraction to create your whole life in advance, right down to the next thing you are doing today. Prentice Mulford, a teacher whose writings share so many insights into the law of attraction and how to use it, demonstrates how important it is to think your day in advance. When you say to yourself, I am going to have a pleasant visit or a pleasant journey, you are literally sending elements and forces ahead of your body that will arrange things to make your visit or journey pleasant. When before the visit or the journey or the shopping trip you are in a bad humor, or fearful or apprehensive of something unpleasant, you are sending unseen agencies ahead of you which will make some kind of unpleasantness. Our thoughts, or in other words, our state of mind, is ever at work, fixing up things good or bad in advance. Prentice Mulford wrote those words in the 1870s. What a pioneer. You can see clearly how important it is to think in advance every event in every day. You will no doubt have experienced the opposite side of thinking your day in advance, and one of the repercussions of that is having to rush and hurry. If you are rushing or hurrying, know that those thoughts and actions are based in fear of being late, and you are fixing up bad things ahead for you. As you continue to rush, you will attract one bad thing after another into your path. In addition to that, the law of attraction is fixing up more future circumstances that will cause you to rush and hurry. You must stop and move yourself off that frequency. Take a few moments and shift yourself if you don't want to summon bad things to you. Many people, particularly in Western societies, chase time and complain that they don't have enough time. Well, as someone says that they don't have enough time, so it must be by the law of attraction. If you have been chasing your tail with thoughts of not having enough time, from now on declare emphatically, I have more than enough time, and change your life. You can also turn waiting into a powerful time to create your future life. Next time you are in a situation where you are waiting, seize that time and imagine having all the things you want. You can do this anywhere, anytime. Turn every life situation into a positive one. Make it a daily habit to determine every event in your life in advance, through your thoughts. Set the universal forces ahead of you in everything you do and everywhere you go, by thinking the way you want it to go in advance. Then you are creating your life intentionally. Like Aladdin's genie, the law of attraction grants our every command. The creative process helps you create what you want in 3 simple steps: ask, believe, and receive. Asking the universe for what you want is your opportunity to get clear about what you want. As you get clear in your mind, you have asked. Believing involves acting, speaking, and thinking as though you have already received what you've asked for. When you emit the frequency of having received it, the law of attraction moves people, events, and circumstances for you to receive. Receiving involves feeling the way you will feel once your desire has manifested. Feeling good now puts you on the frequency of what you want. To lose weight, don't focus on losing weight. Instead, focus on your perfect weight. Feel the feelings of your perfect weight, and you will summon it to you. It takes no time for the universe to manifest what you want. It is as easy to manifest $1 as it is to manifest $1 million. Starting with something small, like a cup of coffee or parking spaces, is an easy way to experience the law of attraction in action. Powerfully intend to attract something small. As you experience the power you have to attract, you will move on to creating much bigger things. Create your day in advance by thinking the way you want it to go, and you will create your life intentionally. Dr. Joe Vitale. A lot of people feel stuck or imprisoned or confined by their current circumstances. Whatever your circumstances right now, that is only your current reality, and current reality will begin to change as a result of beginning to use the secret. Your current reality or your current life is a result of the thoughts you have been thinking. All of that will totally change as you begin to change your thoughts and your feelings. That a man can change himself and master his own destiny is the conclusion of every mind who is wide awake to the power of right thought. 1866 to 1954. 71. Lisa Nichols. When you want to change your circumstances, you must first change your thinking. Every time you look inside your mail expecting to see a bill, guess what, it'll be there. Each day you go out dreading the bill. You're never expecting anything great. You're thinking debt, you're expecting debt. So debt must show up so you won't think you're crazy. And every day you confirm your thought, is debt going to be there? Yes, debt's there. Is debt going to be there? Yes, debt's there. Is debt going to be there? Yes, debt's there. Wiry. Because you expected debt to be there. So it showed up, because the law of attraction is always being obedient to your thoughts. Do yourself a favor, expect a check. Expectation is a powerful attractive force, because it draws things to you. As Bob Proctor says, desire connects you with the thing desired and expectation draws it into your life. Expect the things you want and don't expect the things you don't want. What do you expect now? James Ray. Most people look at their current state of affairs and they say, this is who I am. That's not who you are. That's who you were. Let's say for instance that you don't have enough money in your bank account, or you don't have the relationship that you want, or your health and fitness aren't up to par. That's not who you are, that's the residual outcome of your past thoughts and actions. So, we're constantly living in this residual, if you will, of the thoughts and actions we've taken in the past. When you look at your current state of affairs and define yourself by that, then you doom yourself to have nothing more than the same in future. All that we are is a result of what we have thought. I would like to share a process with you that came from the great teacher Neville Goddard in a lecture he delivered in 1954, entitled, The Pruning Shears of Revision. This process has had a profound effect on my life. Neville recommends at the end of every day, before you go to sleep, to think through the events of the day. If any events or moments did not go the way you wanted, replay them in your mind in a way that thrills you. As you recreate those events in your mind exactly as you want, you are cleaning up your frequency from the day and you are emitting a new signal and frequency for tomorrow. You have intentionally created new pictures for your future. It is never too late to change the pictures. Dr. Joe Vitale. What can you do right now to begin to turn your life around? The very first thing is to start making a list of things to be grateful for. This shifts your energy and starts to shift your thinking. Whereas before this exercise you might be focusing on what you don't have, your complaints, and your problems, you go in a different direction when you do this exercise. You start to be grateful for all the things that you feel good about. If it is a new thought to you that gratitude brings your whole mind into closer harmony with the creative energies of the universe, consider it well, and you will see that it is true. Marcy Shimoff. Gratitude is absolutely the way to bring more into your life. Dr. John Gray. Psychologist, author, and international speaker. Every man knows that when his wife is appreciating him for the little things that he does, what does he want to do? He wants to do more. It's always about appreciation. It pulls things in. It attracts support. Dr. John D. Martini. Whatever we think about and think about we bring about. James Ray. Gratitude has been such a powerful exercise for me. Every morning I get up and say, thank you. Every morning, when my feet hit the floor, thank you. And then I start running through what I'm grateful for, as I'm brushing my teeth and doing the things I do in the morning. And I'm not just thinking about them and doing some rote routine. I'm putting it out there and I'm feeling the feelings of gratitude. The day we filmed James Ray sharing his powerful exercise of gratitude is one I will never forget. From that day on, I made James's process my life. Every morning, I do not get out bed until I have felt the feelings of gratitude for this brand new day and all I am grateful for in my life. Then as I get out of bed, when one foot touches the ground I say, thank, and, you, as my second foot touches the ground. With each step I take on my way to the bath room, I say, thank you. I continue to say and feel, thank you, as I am showering and getting ready. By the time I am ready for the day, I have said, thank you, hundreds of times. As I do this, I am powerfully creating my day and all that it will contain. I am setting my frequency for the day and intentionally declaring the way I want my day to go, rather than stumbling out of bed and letting the day take control of me. There is no more powerful way to begin your day than this. You are the creator of your life, and so begin by intentionally creating your day. Gratitude was a fundamental part of the teachings of all the great avatars throughout history. In the book that changed my life, The Science of Getting Rich, written by Wallace Wattles in 1910, gratitude is its longest chapter. Every teacher featured in The Secret uses gratitude as part of his or her day. Most of them begin their day with thoughts and feelings of gratitude. Joe Sugarman, a wonderful man and successful entrepreneur, watched the film The Secret and contacted me. He told me his favorite part was the gratitude process, and that his use of gratitude had contributed to all he had achieved in his life. With all the success Joe has attracted to himself, he continues to use gratitude every day, even for the smallest things. When he gets a parking space he always says and feels, thank you. Joe knows the power of gratitude and all it has brought to him, and so gratitude is his way of life. With all that I have read and with all that I have experienced in my own life using The Secret, the power of gratitude stands above everything else. If you only do one thing with the knowledge of The Secret, use gratitude until it becomes your way of life. Dr. Joe Vitale. As soon as you start to feel different about what you already have, you will start to attract more of the good things. More of the things you can be grateful for. You could look around and say, well, I don't have the car I want. I don't have the house I want. I don't have the spouse I want. I don't have the health I want. Whoa. Back up, back up. Those are all the things you don't want. Focus on what you already have that you're grateful for. And it might be that you have the eyes to read this. It might be the clothes that you have. Yes, you might prefer something else and you might get something else pretty soon, if you start feeling grateful for what you have. Many people who order their lives rightly in all other ways are kept in poverty by their lack of gratitude. It is impossible to bring more into your life if you are feeling ungrateful about what you have. Why? Because the thoughts and feelings you emit as you feel ungrateful are all negative emotions. Whether it is jealousy, resentment, dissatisfaction, or feelings of not enough, those feelings cannot bring you what you want. They can only return to you more of what you do not want. Those negative emotions are blocking your own good coming to you. If you want a new car but you are not grateful for the car you have, that will be the dominant frequency you are sending out. Be grateful for what you have now. As you begin to think about all the things in your life you are grateful for, you will be amazed at the never-ending thoughts that come back to you of more things to be grateful for. You have to make a start, and then the law of attraction will receive those grateful thoughts and give you more just like them. You will have locked into the frequency of gratitude and all good things will be yours. The daily practice of gratitude is one of the conduits by which your wealth will come to you. Lee Brower. Wealth trainer and specialist, author, and teacher. I think everybody goes through times when they say, things aren't working right, or things are going bad. Once, when there were some things going on in my family, I found a rock, and I just sat holding it. I took this rock, I stuck it in my pocket, and I said, every time I touch this rock I'm going to think of something that I'm grateful for. So every morning when I get up in the morning, I pick it up off the dresser, I put it in my pocket, and I go through the things that I'm grateful for. At night, what do? I empty my pocket, and there it is again. I've had some amazing experiences with this idea. A guy from South Africa saw me drop it. He asked, what is that? I explained it to him, and he started calling it a gratitude rock. 2 weeks later I got an email from him, in South Africa. And he said, my son is dying from a rare disease. It's a type of hepatitis. Would you send me 3 gratitude rocks? They were just ordinary rocks I found off the street, so I said, sure. I had to make sure that the rocks were very special, so I went out to the stream, picked out the right rocks, and sent them off to him. 4 or 5 months later I get an email from him. He said, my son's better, he's doing terrific. And he said, but you need to know something. We've sold over 1,000 rocks at $10 a piece as gratitude rocks, and we've raised all this money for charity. Thank you very much. So it's very important to have an attitude of gratitude. The great scientist Albert Einstein revolutionized the way we view time, space, and gravity. From his poor background and poor beginnings, you would have thought it impossible for him to achieve all that he did. Einstein knew a great deal of the secret, and he said, thank you, hundreds of times each day. He thanked all the great scientists who had preceded him for their contributions, which had enabled him to learn and achieve even more in his work, and eventually become one of the greatest scientists who has ever lived. One of the most powerful uses of gratitude can be incorporated in the creative process to turbocharge what you want. As Bob Proctor advised in the first step of the creative process, start by writing down what you want. Begin each sentence with, I am so happy and grateful now that, and you fill in the rest. When you give thanks as though you have already received what you want, you are emitting a powerful signal to the universe. That signal is saying that you have it already because you are feeling gratitude for it now. Each morning before you get out of bed, make it a habit to feel the feelings of gratitude in advance for the great day ahead, as though it is done. From the moment I discovered the secret and formulated the V-Science to share this knowledge with the world, I gave thanks every day for the film The Secret, which would bring joy to the world. I had no idea how we would bring this knowledge to the screen, but trusted that we would attract the way. I stayed focused and held to the outcome. I felt deep feelings of gratitude in advance. As that became my state of being, the floodgates opened and all the magic flowed into our lives. For the magnificent team of The Secret, and for me, our deep, heartfelt feelings of gratitude continue to this day. We have become a team that resonates gratitude with every moment, and it has become our way of life. Visualization is a process that has been taught by all the great teachers and avatars throughout the centuries, as well as by all the great teachers living today. In Charles Haanel's book, The Master Key System, written in 1912, he gives 24 weekly exercises to master visualization. More important, his complete Master Key System will also help you become the master of your thoughts. The reason visualization is so powerful is because as you create pictures in your mind of seeing yourself with what it is you want, you are generating thoughts and feelings of having it now. Visualization is simply powerfully focused thought in pictures, and it causes equally powerful feelings. When you are visualizing, you are emitting that powerful frequency out into the universe. The law of attraction will take hold of that powerful signal and return those pictures back to you, just as you saw them in your mind. Dr. Dennis Waitley. I took the visualization process from the Apollo program, and instituted it during the 1980s and 90s into the Olympic program. It was called visual motor rehearsal. When you visualize, then you materialize. Here's an interesting thing about the mind. We took Olympic athletes and had them run their event only in their mind, and then hooked them up to sophisticated biofeedback equipment. Incredibly, the same muscles fired in the same sequence when they were running the race in their mind as when they were running it on the track. How could this be? Because the mind can't distinguish whether you're really doing it or whether it's just a practice. If you've been there in the mind, you will go there in the body. Think about the inventors and their inventions, the Wright brothers and the plane, George Eastman and film, Thomas Edison and the light bulb, Alexander Graham Bell and the telephone. The only way anything has ever been invented or created is because one person saw a picture in his mind. He saw it clearly, and by holding that picture of the end result in his mind, all the forces of the universe brought his invention into the world, through him. These men knew the secret. These were men who had utter faith in the invisible, and who knew the power within them to leverage the universe and bring the invention into the visible. Their faith and their imagination have been the cause of the evolution of humankind, and we reap the benefits of their creative minds every single day. You may be thinking, I do not have a mind like these great inventors. You may be thinking, they could imagine those things, but I can't. You could not be further from the truth, and as you continue on this great discovery of the knowledge of the secret, you will learn that you not only have the mind they had, but much more. Mike Dooley. When you, revisualizing, token you, got that picture playing out in your mind, always and only dwell upon the end result. Here's an example. Look at the back of your hands, right now. Really look at the back of your hands, the color of your skin, the freckles, the blood vessels, the rings, the fingernails. Take in all those details. Right before you close your eyes, see those hands, your fingers, wrapping around the steering wheel of your brand new car. Dr. Joe Vitale. This is such a holographic experience, so real in this moment, that you don't even feel as if you need the car, because it feels like you have it already. Dr. Vitale's words brilliantly sum up the place you want to get yourself to when visualizing. When it feels like a jolt as you open your eyes in the physical world, your visualization became real. But that state, that plane, is the real. It is the field where everything is created, and the physical is just the result of the real health of all creation. That's why you won't feel as if you need it anymore, because you tuned in and felt the real field of creation through your visualization. In that field, you have everything now. When you feel that, you will know it. Jack Canfield. It's the feeling that really creates the attraction, not just the picture or the thought. A lot of people think, if I think positive thoughts, or if I visualize having what I want, that will be enough. But if you are doing that and still not feeling abundant, or feeling loving or joyful, then it doesn't create the power of the attraction. Bob Doyle. You put yourself in the feeling place of really being in that car. Not, I wish I could get that car, or, someday I'll have that car, because that's a very definite feeling associated with that. It's not in the now. It's in the future. If you stay in that feeling, it will always be in the future. Michael Bernard Beckwith. Now that feeling and that inner seeing will begin to be an open doorway through which the power of the universe will begin to express. What this power is I cannot say. All know is that it exists. Jack Canfield. Our job is not to figure out the how. The how will show up out of a commitment and belief in the what. Mike Dooley. The hows are the domain of the universe. It always knows the shortest, quickest, fastest, most harmonious way between you and your dream. Dr. Joe Vitale. If you turn it over to the universe, you will be surprised and dazzled by what is delivered to you. This is where magic and miracles happen. The teachers of the secret are all aware of the elements you bring into play when you visualize. As you see the picture in your mind and feel it, you are bringing yourself to a place of believing you have it now. You are also implementing trust and faith in the universe, because you are focusing on the end result and experiencing the feeling of that, without giving any attention whatsoever to how it will come about. Your picture in your mind is seeing it as done. Your feelings are seeing it as done. Your mind and your entire state of being are seeing it as already happened. That is the art of visualization. Dr. Joe Vitale. You want to do this virtually daily, but it should never be a chore. What's really important to the whole secret is feeling good. You want to feel exhilarated by this whole process. You want to be high, happy, in tune, as much as possible. Everyone has the power to visualize. Let me prove it to you with a picture of a kitchen. For this to work, first of all you have to get all thoughts of your kitchen out of your mind. Do not think of your kitchen. Totally clear your mind of pictures of your kitchen, with its cupboards, refrigerator, oven, tiles, and color scheme. You saw a picture of your kitchen in your mind, didn't you? Well, then you just visualized. Everyone visualizes whether he knows it or not. Visualizing is the great secret of success. Here's a tip about visualizing, which Dr. John DeMartini shares in his Breakthrough Experience seminars. John said that if you create a static picture in your mind it can be difficult to hold that picture, so create lots of movement in your picture. To illustrate this, imagine your kitchen again, and this time imagine yourself entering that kitchen, walking to the refrigerator and putting your hand on the door handle, opening the door, looking inside, and finding a cold bottle of water. Reach in and grab it. You can feel the coldness on your hand as you grasp the bottle. You have the bottle of water in one hand, and you use your other hand to close the refrigerator door. Now that you are visualizing your kitchen with detail and movement, it's easier to see and hold the picture, isn't it? We all possess more power and greater possibilities than we realize, and visualizing is one of the greatest of these powers. Marcy Shimoff. The only difference between people who live in this way, who live in the magic of life, and those who don't is that the people who live in the magic of life have habituated ways of being. They've made a habit of using the law of attraction, and magic happens with them wherever they go. Because they remember to use it. They use it all the time, not just as a one-time event. Here are two true stories that clearly demonstrate the powerful law of attraction and the immaculate matrix of the universe in action. The first story is about a woman named Jeannie, who bought a DVD of The Secret and was watching it at least once a day so that she would absorb the message right into the cells of her body. She was particularly impressed with Bob Proctor, and she thought it would be wonderful to meet him. One morning Jeannie collected her mail, and to her utter amazement the mailman had accidentally delivered Bob Proctor's mail to her address. What Jeannie didn't know is that Bob Proctor lived just 4 blocks away from her. Not only that, but Jeannie's house number was the same number as Bob's. She immediately took the mail to deliver it to the correct address. Can you imagine her utter delight when the door opened and Bob Proctor was standing before her? Bob is rarely at home as he travels all over the world teaching, but the matrix of the universe knows only perfect timing. From Jeannie's thought of how wonderful it would be to meet Bob Proctor, the law of attraction moved people, circumstances, and events throughout the universe so that it happened. The second story involves a 10-year-old boy named Colin, who had seen and loved The Secret. Colin's family made a week-long visit to Disney World, and on their first day they experienced long lines at the park. So that night, just before Colin fell asleep, he thought, tomorrow I'd love to go on all the big rides and never have to wait in line. The next morning, Colin and his family were at the gates of Epcot Center as the park opened, and a Disney staff member approached and asked them if they would be Epcot's first family of the day. As first family, they would be given VIP status, a special escort by a staff member, and walk-on passes for every big ride in Epcot. It was everything and more that Colin had wished for. Hundreds of families were waiting to enter Epcot that morning, but Colin didn't have the slightest doubt as to why his family had been chosen first family. He knew it was because he had used the secret. Imagine discovering, at the age of 10, that the power to move worlds lies within you. Nothing can prevent your picture from coming into concrete form except the same power which gave it birth, yourself. James Ray. People hold that for a while, and they're really a champion at it. They say, I'm fired up. I saw this program and I'm going to change my life. And yet results aren't showing. Beneath the surface it's just about ready to break through, but the person will look just at the surface results and say, this stuff doesn't work. And you know what? The universe says, your wish is my command, and it disappears. When you allow a thought of doubt to enter your mind, the law of attraction will soon line up one doubtful thought after another. The moment a thought of doubt comes, release it immediately. Send that thought on its way. Replace it with, I know I am receiving now. And feel it. John Assaraf. Knowing the law of attraction, I wanted to really put it to use and to see what would happen. In 1995 I started to create something called a vision board, where I take something that I want to achieve, or something that I want to attract, like a car or a watch or the soulmate of my dreams, and I put a picture of what I want up on this board. Every day I would sit in my office and I would look up at this board and I would start to visualize. I would really get into the state of having already acquired it. I was getting ready to move. We put all the furniture, all the boxes, into storage, and I made 3 different moves over a period of 5 years. And then I ended up in California and bought this house, renovated it for a year, and then had all the stuff brought from my farmer home 5 years earlier. One morning my son Keenan came into my office, and one of the boxes that was sealed for 5 years was right at the doorstep. He asked, what's in the boxes, Daddy? And I said, those are my vision boards. He then asked, what's a vision board? I said, well, it's where I put all my goals up. I cut them out and I put all my goals up as something that I want to achieve in my life. Of course at 5.5 years old he didn't understand, and so I said, sweetheart, let me just show you, that'll be the easiest way to do it. I cut the box open, and on one vision board was a picture of a home that I was visualizing 5 years earlier. What was shocking was that we were living in that house. Not a house like it, I actually bought my dream home, renovated it, and didn't even know it. I looked at that house and I started to cry, because I was just blown away. Keenan asked, why are you crying? I finally understand how the law of attraction works. I finally understand the power of visualization. I finally understand everything that I've read, everything that I've worked with my whole life, the way I've built companies. It worked for my home as well, and I bought our dream home and didn't even know it. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. You can let your imagination go wild with a vision board, and place pictures of all the things you want, and pictures of how you want your life to be. Make sure you put the vision board in a place where you see it and look at it every day as John Assaraf did. Feel the feelings of having those things now. As you receive, and feel gratitude for receiving, you can remove pictures and add new ones. This is a wonderful way to introduce children to the law of attraction. I hope the creation of a vision board inspires parents and teachers worldwide. One of the people on the Secret website forum put a picture of the Secret DVD on his vision board. He had seen The Secret but didn't own his own copy. 2 days after he created his vision board, I felt inspired to post a notice on the Secret forum giving away DVDs to the first 10 people who posted. He was one of the 10. He had received a copy of The Secret DVD within 2 days of putting it on his vision board. Whether it is a DVD of The Secret or a house, the joy of creating and receiving is magnificent. Another powerful example of visualizing comes from my mother's experience of buying a new house. Several people besides my mother had put in offers for this particular house. My mother decided to use The Secret to make that house hers. She sat down and wrote her name and the new address of the house over and over. She continued doing this until it felt as though it was her address. She then imagined placing all of her furniture in that new house. Within hours of doing these things, she received a phone call saying her offer had been accepted. She was so thrilled, but it didn't come as a surprise to her because she knew that house was hers. What a champion. Jack Canfield. Decide what you want. Believe you can have it. Believe you deserve it and believe it's possible for you. And then close your eyes every day for several minutes and visualize having what you already want, feeling the feelings of already having it. Come out of that and focus on what you're grateful for already, and really enjoy it. Then go into your day and release it to the universe and trust that the universe will figure out how to manifest it. Expectation is a powerful attractive force. Expect the things you want, and don't expect the things you don't want. Gratitude is a powerful process for shifting your energy and bringing more of what you want into your life. Be grateful for what you already have, and you will attract more good things. Giving thanks for what you want in advance turbocharges your desires and sends a more powerful signal out into the universe. Visualization is the process of creating pictures in your mind of yourself enjoying what you want. When you visualize, you generate powerful thoughts and feelings of having it now. The law of attraction then returns that reality to you, just as you saw it in your mind. To use the law of attraction to your advantage, make it a habitual way of being, not just a one-time event. At the end of every day, before you go to sleep, go back through the events of the day. Any events or moments that were not what you wanted, replay them in your mind the way you wanted them to go. 93. Whatever the mind can conceive, it can achieve. Jack Canfield. The secret was a real transformation for me, because I grew up with a very negative father who thought that rich people were people that had ripped everyone off and thought that anyone that had money must have deceived somebody. So I grew up with a lot of beliefs about money, that if you had it, it made you bad, only evil people have money, and money doesn't grow on trees. Who do you think I am, Rockefeller? That was one of his favorite phrases. So I grew up truly believing that life was difficult. It was only when I met W. Clement Stone that I began to shift my life. 95. When I was working with Stone, he said, I want you to set a goal that's so big that if you achieved it, it would blow your mind, and you would know it's only because of what I've taught you that you would have achieved this goal. At the time I was making about $8,000 a year, so I said, I want to make $100,000 in a year. Now, I had no idea how I could do that. I saw no strategy. No possibility, but I just said, I'm going to declare that, I'm going to believe it, I'm going to act as if it's true, and release it, so I did that. One of the things he taught me was every day to close your eyes and visualize the goals as if it's already